Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Sohile Ali Show. It is so great to be here, and yeah, man, we're going to be catching up on this Monday, April 22nd, 2024, and very excited to get back to one of these solo episodes. It's been a minute since I've put out with a solo episode, but, things have just been going that well. No, but I am excited to be talking to you all today, and before we get started, without further ado, if you're watching on YouTube, please, if you haven't already, like this video, comment below, and subscribe for all future episodes. And, of course, if you're listening on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, please give us a follow, a nice 5-star rating. I'd appreciate it, but I'm going to definitely make sure we earn it. But yeah, folks, we're very excited to be back with a great episode today, catching up with you all, talking about some amazing things such as the NBA, some fun stuff catching up in the NBA, including, a historic lifetime ban for a certain player due to gambling. We'll get into that. Big news in basketball continuing there in Indianapolis. The Indiana Fever getting Caitlin Clark in a bit of a rough start to the Indianapolis press scene with Caitlin Clark. Those that know, we'll get into that. We lost. We lost. We kind of got rid of. No. O.J. Simpson passed away. Guess he got away with it after all. It's so much has happened since I last kind of got to vent and talk. So we're gonna go through it all in due time. I forgot to start the timer. Apologies. And yeah, we're gonna keep it nice and tight. Maybe probably under 30 minutes. Real nice and tight. That's what she said. And we're gonna talk about the solar eclipse, the total solar eclipse. It seems like ancient history now, but I do want to talk about that. Joker 2 trailer dropped. For those fans of Joker and, unhealthy men. No, the Joker 2 trailer dropped. Very exciting stuff. Can't wait to see it. We'll do a little weekly recap, what I was up to this past week, shows, where I was, what I was up to. And then I'll probably go through a couple of new bits in the Write That Down segment. WTD, always take a note. And I'll go through upcoming shows. So let's just jump into it, man. The first story I wanted to talk about is NBA player Jontay Porter unfortunately receiving a lifetime ban from the NBA because of his involvement with, you guessed it, NBA gambling. So they really didn't have to look too hard to see what was going on. Apparently, he was giving insider information, he wasn't feeling well, he knew he was going to be taken out of the game, to a buddy of his, an associate, as they say. The more official it sounds, you really think about it, it's like, dude, you tell your friend, hey man, I'm not feeling too hot right now, bet the under on me, which is crazy. I mean, honestly, dude, I feel like more NBA players should do that, forget getting caught. Just do it. Hook your friends up. Some low bets. I mean, this idiot, his friend, put $80,000 on him for a $1.1 million payout. And I think, anyone that put $80,000 on a Jontay Porter under bet and didn't think they were going to look at it is an idiot, dude. What the hell? So, for the rest of the NBA, why don't you hook your friends up every so often, Why don't you say, hey, I got a fever. If you know someone in the NBA or know even an equipment manager, could be a fun way to make a few extra bucks, not $1.1 million, as Mr. Porter and his friend tried to do. But that was interesting. I think, they caught him on the apps, and it's crazy, man. It's a crazy world now with sports gambling everywhere. Every other commercial is fucking ruin your life for ESPN Bet, DraftKings. Yeah. Jamie Foxx says so. Get in on the action. But it's been a huge industry, I think. Some billions of dollars from last year, which was up, I think, a bunch of billion from the year before. So, I mean, it's big business. Big business. But all that to say, if your one thing in life is to follow your dream, whenever you do, maybe protect that a little bit, Maybe, my thoughts go out to Jontay Porter, but honestly, man, you effed up. You effed up pretty badly there. And, like I said, if you just told him, hey, man, don't go, maybe not the $80K bet for the under, maybe the $600 bet would have been a little easier. Maybe it wouldn't have, perked up the ears of FanDuel. But that I had to talk about that, man. So crazy, and to be in a public way, there was the announcement from the NBA. Anytime NBA press communications puts out that paper post of the press release, it's always like, oh crap, something's going down. So yeah, man. A little bit of a reminder for all of us to, what is this next decision I'm about to make an idiotic one? If somebody heard about this, if somebody learned about it, would I be really embarrassed? If yes, maybe reconsider. But if no, enjoy your winnings. So I want to get into that a little bit. I want to talk about what happened with Caitlin Clark. So Caitlin Clark, the amazing, the GOAT, maybe some say the GOAT. Caitlin Clark was drafted last week by the Indiana Fever. And in one of the introductory press conferences they had, where all the media get to ask her questions and all that, she's sitting at the podium or at the table. A journalist from the Indy Star by the name of Greg Doyle. Greg never met a woman he didn't make uncomfortable, Doyle. Asks her a question, and this thing goes crazy because, for one, this dude decided to do like the heart. He goes, "Hey, Caitlin, oh, wait a minute, 1 second," and then he puts up the I can't even do it. I feel disgusting doing it. It's the signature Caitlin Clark does to her family. When she's playing a game, she puts up her hands and makes a heart towards her family. That's amazing. Freaking Doyle decides to do it preceding his question. And then Caitlin's like, "Oh, you like that, huh?" And he's like, "I like that you're here." Dude, hey, man, read what you're saying. Like I'm just cringing just thinking about it. And the whole world cringed. This thing went crazy, viral, and Doyle becomes creep number one, enemy number one, which honestly is par for the course with this guy. Like, if anyone looks up his history, things he said, the way he's written, it's pretty bad stuff. But, I mean, I'm just drawing a broad generalization here. I don't know the guy personally, but his behavior in this interview, and he this essentially the same day talked about, I made the mistake, I'm part of the problem. It's like, yeah, dude, no effing shit. But for me, it was like, dude, to think that doing the heart thing would be a good idea. Like, I would do that. I wouldn't even do that to, like, my family, Especially for me. It'd just be like, they'd be like, "What are you doing? Put your hands down. What are you doing, man? Come here. You think you look okay with that?" It's just messed up. Like, if I did that to my girlfriend, she'd be like, "Fuck it." She would smack me, dude. She'd be like, "What are you doing? Get out of here with that nonsense." But yeah, man, it was a reminder that what women have to face all the time, especially when they're just trying to do their job in sports, and you got dudes like this, man. So once again, a reminder. Not that I'm perfect. I make mistakes. You kidding me? I did this the other week. No, a reminder. Just be like, hey, is what I'm about to do gonna make this person feel uncomfortable? And, maybe feel, ostracized, the size of one? No. Is it going to alienate someone? Is it going to put a weird tone on the conversation? If yes, maybe you don't want to be doing that, especially when your job is to professionally write, speak to, and interview, athletes in the freaking sports column. So, if anyone from Indy Star that has any pull is listening to this or watching, please, I'd love to hear about Mr. Doyle's future. No, I mean, it's whatever, dude. The guy will probably be there for as long as he wants. But man, that was a bad look. That was a bad look for Indy sports journalism. So we gotta wash that shit off, man. We gotta wash that off. Move it forward. Keep moving it forward. All right. OJ died. I almost said that was cool. It's not cool. All right. Hey, man. When an alleged murderer dies, that's not cool, man. When an actual murderer dies, that's pretty cool. Then you're like, okay, nice. One less evil person. But when an alleged killer dies, dude, that's not cool, man. But, man, the jokes were incredible. Oh God, all day on Twitter, some amazing jokes were told, and it's always sad when an alleged killer dies. But you know what? I think he lived a full, long life, and thoughts to his family. But the jokes, man, on Twitter, oh my God. This is a reminder of why I have the app. Everyone, every so often, is reminded why they do. And for me, it was, the memes were flooding in. The jokes like Brad Williams, comedian Brad Williams, had an amazing tweet where he said, finally now O.J. Simpson can rest knowing that his wife's killer is dead. Crazy, man. Crazy. But actually, I'm going to try and... So this is a side note. I'm going to try and redo my setup I have going on here in this office, this studio I record this in, and I have a picture up on the wall of Norm. I'll have to show you all soon when I get that set up. But it's Norm at the weekend, Norm MacDonald at the SNL Weekend Update desk, and that just, as I'm saying these OJ things, it's like, yeah, he would have had a ball, and he did. So, yeah, man, my whole thing was, well, I guess OJ got away with it after all. The juice is loose forever. And he's, he's doing his thing. He's doing nothing anymore. But yeah, that was a moment. That was a big shock. I don't think many people really knew he was even that sick. So, I don't know what everything I've said has been a reminder thus far. This is a reminder to, act really well when someone gives you gloves that are too tight, to enjoy every day, because you never know when you come home one night and your life will end. It's a reminder to whenever you're doing group projects, put the best people in that field around you so you can have a hell of a case. And it's another reminder to, whatever you do, give it 110%. If it's running a football up a field, or leaving no evidence behind, I would say give it your all every time. That's the reminder there. And enjoy each day is a gift. And, if people take things from you, don't try and go stealing them yourself. Let justice prevail. And, always remember that there is no justice. All right. So that's the OJ section. Let's get into this stuff, man. So the solar eclipse, it's been a few weeks now, but honestly, man, this was really cool. The total solar eclipse, I was here in Bloomington, checking it out. I was in Bryant Park. Caroline and I, we laid out a little blanket, caught it. As soon as it went full, it was insane, man. It got dark. It got cold. I wasn't expecting it to get that cold, man, but it was like, holy shit. Was that pretty cool? And the Bryant Park area was packed. There was a dude playing bagpipes. He was playing as soon as it went total, you just hear, he was playing like Amazing Grace. I'm like, my God, I'm tearing up here, man. This is crazy. But the eclipse was cool, man. So I think everyone here pretty much enjoyed it. The town did not get crazy. It did not turn into some, apocalyptic, present day situation. People were, batting down the hatches and getting milk and eggs. But hey, what really happened? Nothing much. But it was cool, man. It was cool. Glad to be a part of it. Glad to be a part of it. It was a group effort. I think everyone killed it. I didn't hear about many car accidents, so hopefully everyone was okay. But yeah, that was a fun time to be a part of. Trying to think what else. I took some pictures of it. I have them. If you want to see them, let me know. But it was pretty cool. People got some good shots all across the country. It was going through. But yeah, man, it was wild. I probably wouldn't travel. It was cool, and like if I heard of one happening, within like 2-3 hours away, I might go for that, just to see it again, do that thing again. But I probably wouldn't like fly to go to one. You know what I'm saying? Like it's cool, but like, it lasts for so long, and then you're like, okay, now we're just gotta go have a Monday, So, but it was cool. It was cool to be a part of it. Cool to see, and we documented it. That's for sure. All right, let's talk about the Joker 2 trailer. For my fellow comic book nerd movie fans, the Joker 2 trailer dropped like 2 weeks ago now. Very sick. Joaquin Phoenix, Lady Gaga. This thing, man, it's going to be a blast in IMAX. That's for sure. I'm very excited. It's like a musical, which it's like, yeah, I feel like we need more musicals, especially in American films. Like, as someone whose grandparents, parents, and himself enjoy Bollywood movies, especially, Bollywood movies from India of the 90s, Shah Rukh Khan and all those amazing things. Like, it's fun, every so often the breaks out a song and dance. What's more fun than that? And I'm not saying Joker 2 is going to be, a Hindi film, but it'll definitely have some kind of musical element to it. We kind of saw that in the trailer, which was cool. Yeah, Joaquin, I feel so bad for the guy, honestly. Like, I can't wait for this movie, but, like, the man had to lose all that weight for the first Joker, and then he had to, put it back on, maybe 70, 80 pounds, something easy like that. And he had to lose it again for the second one. Like, god dang, dude. Like, this man's body is malleable. And so I don't envy that part. But, man, it's going to be, can't wait. Can't wait to see it. October of this year. And shout out, as always, to IU alum and Batman exec producer Michael Uslan, who's behind it. Look him up. So that'll be fun. Maybe fun, terrifying, but man, I will be there no matter what. Hopefully they have early screenings. That'd be cool. IMAX. That would be cool. Okay, honestly, that's really all the trending topics that I wanted to talk about. I wanted to get into what else? Let's do a little weekly recap. Let's do a little weekly recap for fun. We'll go. Yeah, we talked about the eclipse. We'll go from Wednesday. So Wednesday of last week, I got to host one show at Helium Comedy Club in Indianapolis for the headliner Shannon Fiedler. She was coming from New York. She's been hitting the road. And featuring was our own Bloomington's own very funny comedian Shanda Sung, who featured. And I hosted one show. It was a fun show, not the biggest of crowds, but it was still fun. I really enjoyed getting to see Shanda as always, and then getting to see Shannon's set. She's got like this huge social media following from like these character videos she does, very funny stuff. And seeing her act, I mean, she probably had about 55 minute headline set, which was cool. She had some stuff on being an only child, which I can relate to, obviously. I was like, damn, dude, like she's really got every pocket of it too. Like she's like an only child, and she's like an only grandchild too. So that was crazy to hear. Very funny stuff. So if you're in New York or you can catch her on the road, I would recommend going to see Shannon. It was cool to work with her, cool to meet her, and yeah, hope our paths cross again soon. It's always a great time to get to perform at Helium in Indy. It's where I did my very first open mic, actually, for the very first time. In August of 2020. It was like one of the first mics they did up again during COVID. We had masks on, mic covers. Alex Price was the host. Shout out to Alex. And I remember it, man. I wore my freaking Hawaiian shirt, didn't tell anybody. And I was like, okay, let's get this out of the way. 3 minutes, and I probably told like 2 jokes. But what's changed? But no, man, it's a great club, great rooms, and yeah, hope to be back soon. Always a fun time there. Okay, so then on Thursday we did the Comedy Attic mic, as always. If you're in Bloomington looking for something to do on a Thursday, always a good time. You can always check that out. And I hosted that, and then on Friday just kind of chilled out. Saturday, got to go to Cincinnati, Ohio, and do 2 shows through Bombs Away Comedy at the Comet in Cincinnati. Really fun shows. Shout out to Wayne Mehmet, who produces that, and the greater Cincinnati scene. Really great shows. They got to have a great setup there. It's amazing. 2 shows. Shout out to the other comics, including Corinne Turnbow, very funny comedian. Corinne, I had to follow her the second show, and I was like, holy crap, dude, she was freaking killing it. So always cool. It's always cool to follow a comic that's killing, because you're like, fuck, I got to be at least as good as this, because the crowd's great, they're loving it, they want more. So that was always nice. And then the headliner, John, freaking, I'm spacing his name. I just followed him. But John, out of Cleveland, I'm leaving all this in. Brutton, John Brutton. He was awesome, man. Very funny guy, very nice guy. We got to talk a little bit, and he's based out of Cleveland, but he opens for Ali Sadiq on the road, which is awesome. And yeah, he was super cool, man. Very nice hang, and it was nice to me. And we got to talk. I was like, man, you should come to Limestone sometime, man. You'd be a shoo-in. So he might be doing that. But yeah, those were really fun, and it was just a reminder of, we got to drive maybe a couple hours to get some great shows every so often. But when we do, it's always fun. Great crowds. Great quesadilla at the Comet. I will say that. So shout out to the Comet. Great quesadilla. Can't recommend that enough. So it was a fun time. So thank you again to Wayne for having me. And Bombs Away Comedy, man. Go support if you're in the Cincy area. We are doing great here on time. So we're going to go through now. We're going to do a couple of bits I'm going to work through with you all now. So if you'll be so kind as to sit through that. I call this the Write That Down segment, or new bits, but write that down because WTD is what I write in my notes, in my Google Keep notes. Anytime I have a joke idea or a bit or something idea, I just quickly pull out the Google Keep, new note, WTD. It's like a tag for me. Write that down, something, just boom, 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 and then that way, whatever I write, I can find it back later and then go through it. So kind of a way to stay organized. Yeah, I've been working on this thing of, it's called friend drinking, but essentially the joke is like, my friend told me recently that he needs to quit drinking because when he drinks too much, he kisses his mom on the lips, right? And I heard that and I was like, man, like the first thing I tried with that was like, man, I would hate to know what you do to your dad. That was kind of like, but then the other thing was, he kisses mom on the lips. Well, damn, that's a great excuse. Well, I just got so drunk. What'd you want? My sister was busy. No, it's pretty bad. But I did like this thing of like I feel like Oedipus could have used that as an excuse. Where he's just like, well, of course I married my mom. I've been drunk this whole time, and Thomas gave me, there was an open bar at our wedding. What do you expect? There's only so many girls in this town. Maybe. But I've been doing it. I've been trying it in shows, and it's been getting a reaction. Not like the best reaction, but it's been getting a reaction. So I definitely want to keep working on that one. I've been opening with like I've been doing all right, but things have been called recently. I've been called off-brand Lord Farquaad, and that usually gets, last night in Cincinnati, there was an older couple, and the lady was laughing at that part. I was like, older woman, I didn't peg you for a Shrek fan. That's awesome. So it's cool to know that Farquaad, it's just a funny word in itself, but Farquaad is known. Shit, man, the first Shrek was like fucking 23 years ago. And then I get into, the other stuff of like, I'm trying to do this one of like Fabio, if he was on the no-fly list, or no-fly list Fabio. I don't know which way to do it, but that got a reaction too. That got a good laugh, and I think people still know like Fabio is a cultural figure, a cultural figure. He's still in the zeitgeist. Fabio, kidding me? He's living off the returns, and then obviously the other stuff. I had this thing, I have like a bit about therapy, about like talking to my parents about therapy. It's a joke, but what I want to get into it is, I actually have a lot of anxiety about seeing a therapist, and I really think I should talk to somebody about that. Right, just like a silly line. I think it's funny. I tweeted that, so I might try. I did do that second show last night, and I did get a laugh. So I was like, oh shit. It was the first time I had even said it. I didn't even do it on like a mic before, so it might be a cool way to like get into the therapist bit, or therapy bit, and then I can just be like, and I think what I'm trying to work on is always like, getting more, obviously more laughs, but like more like little quick lines too. If I'm telling like a greater chunk or story or, longer thing, I don't want there to be too much lull. I think I'm just trying to tighten up, get those little micro laughs, that are maybe not necessarily a punchline, but just like a funny thing coming up onto the greater joke or bit there. So, the more sets I do, the more shows I'm doing, I just want to keep tightening it up, compressing until it's mostly laughs, just momentum from one funny thing to the next. Because I think if I leave too much lull, too much dead air, it's hard to get the rhythm back, I think so much about a great comedy set is the momentum. And I've learned that and see that from all the great comedians who are in and around our scene, It's really cool to see. Okay, so I'm going to try this tonight at Hoppy's, but essentially it's part of my bit about the TSA. So I get up, my introductory joke is, "Hey everyone, great to be here. My name is Sohile Ali," or as the TSA refers to me, "Step over to the right for a minute, sir." And that always is a solid opening for me. And then I want to tell the story of actually, the first time I got stopped by the TSA, I was only 8 years old. Yeah, it was actually the first time they swabbed for explosives in a Lightning McQueen backpack. That to me, I thought of the other day. I think it's good. I'm gonna try it tonight. Swabbed for explosives is a bit wordy, so I might have to cut it down and just say, it was the first time they checked for explosives in a Lightning McQueen backpack, because just the absurdity. I think I need to point out the absurdity of getting randomly selected by the TSA when you're 8 years old, right? They said, "Why don't you, sir? Can you take your Crocs off and turn them inside out?" That's actually kind of interesting. The Crocs, they wanted me to turn my Crocs inside out. Crocs you can see through them. See, this is how we find it, folks. This is how we find it. That's why I do this for all two of you. No. So TSA 8 years old. There you go. And then I'm literally just gonna. Sometimes I do speaking notes, so I'm just gonna go. They asked me to turn my Crocs inside out, or something like that. Yeah. So yeah, that's something else I'm trying to work on, because it's my opening. I think you want to start with obviously one of your best jokes, and you want to close with your best joke. And I think starting strong, getting those laughs in the beginning of a set, no matter where you are, it just gives confidence, and it gives the audience confidence in you, the performer. They go right off the bat, this guy's funny, and he's got funny stuff. Boom, boom. I think that's kind of more my comfort zone, and an area that, you got to write more. You got to write more jokes. You got to condense it, tighten it. And I want to keep that momentum going, Does it get a laugh? No, but is it a setup? If not, then cut it. Just cut it. Get straight to it, is what I'm trying to do. Okay. Let's see here. Some of these are just quick little things. Philosophy majors be like, let me think about that. I asked someone if their marijuana was indica or sativa. They said it was a hybrid. I said, oh, finally, a joint good for the environment. I was thinking about this, if sometimes I pick up. Whoa, sorry, you guys probably can't hear that, but there was a lady screaming outside. I want to get up at the attic mic and just go, I'm a townie, and on behalf of all the townies, fuck you. So stupid. And let's see here. I never made the middle or high school basketball teams because for some reason they only wanted kids who could run and make baskets. So, not the ones who got cramped tying their shoes. Could be something, I think it's more of a tweet, and I think there's something there about just the silliness of well, I don't know why they didn't want me. I couldn't get off the ground, but why didn't they want me? Could be fun there. I think I'm going to leave it at that for that. I appreciate you all sitting through it, and now I'm just going to take you through some upcoming shows where you can find me, where you can see me performing, doing this thing that we love to do called stand-up comedy. And the next place they're going to be this Thursday, April 25th at Tapper's Arcade Bar in Indianapolis. If you're not going to catch that, then you can come out for any one of the 4 shows that I will be hosting this weekend, April 26th and the 27th, for Sam Talent at the Comedy Attic. I'm very excited. I'm a huge Sam Talent fan, and watched his special he did at Go Bananas, and to get to host for him, I'm very, very excited. So again, there's 4 shows, 7 o'clock, 9:30, Friday, April 26th, or Saturday the 27th. So be sure to catch one of those. So that's what we got coming up this week. And yeah, looking forward to it. Looking forward to just keep on working on it. Keep finding my act. Keep refining it until it's the best it can be. The best 5 minutes, 6 minutes, 10, 15, eventually 20, and eventually more and more. But I want to appreciate, give a shout out to you all, whoever you are, wherever you are, if you are listening and still watching, because this has been a bit of a wild one all over the place. And I just, I appreciate it if you tuned in at all. So thank you for your time, and I hope you enjoyed it. And, whatever it is you're in, music, film, comedy, whatever it is, your passion, I just want to give you some encouragement, and that is just do it. Just do it head on. Whatever it is you love, whatever it is you're watching and saying, man, I wish I could do that. I want to try that. Just do it. Just do it. Don't worry about other people, what they think. People will say you suck, you're ugly, all that. Yeah, I get it too, and you probably might leave that comment yourself. But there's a level of freedom to just putting it out there, enjoying something and putting it out there, and the joy you get from that, the relief, it really is a relief. It's a release of tension that went, well, now I did that, and now I can probably do something else too. And if you suck, you suck. Everyone sucks in the beginning, all right? So all that to say, a little bit of encouragement from a guy who constantly sucks but is still doing it. So I appreciate you all. Again, leave a like, comment below, subscribe on all that good stuff, and hope to see you at a show soon. And thank you once again for tuning in. Oh, if you have not seen my last interview with Don Fisher, the legendary voice of the IU Hoosiers, please check that out. I had a great conversation with Don Fisher. He talked about Coach Knight, broadcasting with IU for over 50 years. He's awesome. So shout out to Don. Please check out that episode if you have not yet on my channel. You can find that. All right. Thank you very much, and I'll talk to you all next time. Have a great week. Real quick before you click away, thank you so much for watching this video. I really appreciate it. If you enjoyed it, please give it a like, comment below, and subscribe for all future videos. And be sure to check out these two videos right here. Hope you have a great one.